Oklahoma City.
April 19th.
April 19th.
I was there. I'll show you the new monitoring antennas for 5G.
Okay.
These are the ones that are you're going to have to worry about. And they're sitting right on the side road. They got two of them sitting up there by the truck stop.
Really?
Oh, they're monitoring the hell out of that truck stop. You know, all their computers on the trucks that come in.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's going deep there. Everything that happens down there on the meat packing plant, everything in that area, it's covered. All those trucks down there. When we go over the bridge going back, you'll see, look down in their truck bed down there. There's 1,000 trailers down there. They're moving around. They have to have some way to track them. 5G. This car will be going down the road, talking to that car coming up to a stoplight to let it know where it's going. The cars will be communicating for miles and miles and miles around. Instantaneously. I mean, it isn't like on the internet you have to poke at it and wait. Sure. This is like snap.
Boom, right there. So they just keep on building on top of the older gear. I mean, is there...
Well,
what did you say was in the fenced-in thing? I couldn't see the fenced-in part.
We'll go around and look at the cubic. They call them cubiconicals.
Are they still active?
Yeah, no.
They're not anymore.
No,
so that's just dead technology. It's just sitting there. They didn't rip it out. They just left it.
See it in the upper platform. You kind of see a circle out there on the far end.
Yep.
That cone would fit down in those.
There. Okay, that's what you were saying before. I just couldn't see it out the window. That's what you were explaining, John. Now, that's why I'm just trying to refresh.
But each one of those squares.
So that's dead technology. That's just all
gone.
And they just didn't rip it out. It's just sitting there.
It's just sitting there. All the new technology is right there, coming up in those black cables. Everything's going to interconnect with outer space. Okay. But you know all these sounding rockets that they've been firing off. And if you notice, I publicize every time they do a succession of rockets. They're painting the ionosphere, trying to make a Band-Aid. They totally destroyed it with HAARP. Okay? They punched holes in the ionosphere. The ionosphere gives us protection from the sun. Every time the sun has one of those heaves of
flares, like that kind of shit.
Coronal flares, yeah. Every time it throws off all that radiation, it's the ionosphere that protects us.
But we blasted a hole through it.
And
multiple.
It creates energy with the magnetosphere. The magnetosphere fluxes it like a muscle. And it kind of knocks the piss out of some of that shit. That's what's protecting us. And we're screwing with that crap. We're messing with the frequency of the magnetosphere. Every time they fire off the, what's that thing up in France? Oh.
Not the Ice Cat.
No.
Oh, the Hydrogen Collider.
Yeah, the collider. Every time they fire one of these colliders off, its output, magnetic-wise, is 1 billion times stronger than our own magnetic field. The Earth's magnetic field. It's 1 billion times more.
Wow.
You don't think that has some influence on the Earth's gravitational pull? On the Earth's magnetic? And they wonder why the poles are moving.
And there's more than one now. I think there's 3.
Oh, there's 10. There's 10 colliders around the world. There's 3 of them right down in Texas. One in Arlington. One in Arlington. They fired it up, used it 3 times, and they haven't used it since. But it's ready. That's what's scary. It's ready. Why is it ready? Why do they keep on working on it, maintaining it? Why don't they just bury it? Because it's going to be part of the weapon system. A future weapon system.
Damn.
If you start moving the magnetic fields around on the Earth, all of a sudden you can't tell where you're at. Electronically speaking, there is no north and south no more. You can't get nowhere.
Billy, are you taking us somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going somewhere else, right?
We're going to look at a 5G antenna. So we're going to go back up there.
You're looping around, okay? Go back this
We're
way.
going to go back to that loop up there. And we're going to take a right at the last stoplight.
Just keep on telling me where to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, just go this way.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
go back the way we came.
No, we're going to go out and come around here so you can see those ditches. Because they ain't tiny. And I want you to understand, me and my uncle and one other little guy put all those up there on that tower in 1964.
Well, you said 57, brother.
No, that's when the tower was built.
Oh, okay. And then 64, you weren't a water boy anymore.
Right.
So, did you ever see The Water Boy, the movie with Billy Madison?
I think I did.
Okay.
I can't remember it though.
Let's
Take a left here.
go in this driveway.
In 1/10 of a mile,
Oh, please.
left turn onto North 14th Avenue.
Yeah, that's real. Go to your right.
I gotta stop this thing because it's gonna annoy the heck out of me.
Move on to the back of the building down there.
Holy cow!
See what I was talking about? How it's got a capture point on the top. He went too close where you can't see it now.
Can you see Kurt?
No, you need to back up so you can see
Oh, I got you. Okay.
you can see the drum on top.
Now you said something about the grates too, right?
What?
Grates? Didn't you say something about grates? Like they take the information in and they put
No,
it.
the grates are on platforms upstairs.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay, when you look straight up now, you can see those holes,
I'm gonna move up for that.
those square holes. Not really. If those did it, they look straight up the tower. With putting, it's a word I'm looking for, where they make it more than it is. For instance, they're saying that a cell tower has got inch and 3/4, inch and 5/8 hard line on it. They look it up in a book, and it says this hard line has the capability of handling 1 million watts. They instantly turn around and say that tower's going to boost the power output 1 million watts on every line. That is wrong. That is wrong. That line comes down and feeds to a 1/2-inch line that cannot handle any more than a couple hundred watts. The reason they use these big lines is there's so much loss of attenuation. The higher the frequency you go, the more attenuation there is. So what was good for CB at 28 megahertz, you only got 2 dB per 1,000 feet. When you go up in 400 hertz or 800 hertz, We need to go that way. When you go up to these higher frequencies, all of a sudden you got 32 dB per 100 feet.
How high frequency? What frequency range are we talking?
Well, 800 on standard cell, 800 to 1.9 gigahertz.
Gigahertz.
0.8 gigahertz to 1.5 gigahertz. It's the normal cell. Now the new cell system, part of it is going to be the interlinking system, which is going to be, 10, 15 gigahertz. Which is, that is microwave, baby. I mean, I used to go up on some of these towers and take a hanger up there and a hot dog and hang it out there with my fingers, and where the hot dog was would have been a wavelength of the frequency being used on that tower. It would cook that hot dog, but yet I was sitting there holding the hanger at another place where it wouldn't hurt me. I worked on TV antennas, and I sat on the antenna what was hot. It was radiating almost 1 million watts. And the joke was I'd never have any kids. That didn't work.
How many kids?
14.
What are their ages?
From 48 to 19.
Wow.
Well, let's figure that.
And Billy, you just turned 70.
71 coming up.
71's coming up.
We're going right.
Going right.
We're going to the Flying J truck stop.
How far is that? Just like 10 minutes?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to try to get you set up where you can get a couple good shots of those new antennas.
Okay, so those are the new ones, huh?
Okay. Now this is a security system here.
This is a security system.
They're consolidated communications all by themselves. But they sublet to cell sites.
Okay, so it's a security tower, but they also put the 5G stuff on there.
Right. Everybody's going to try to keep up with the times. The amount of information that can be contained and maneuvered on 5G is just endless. It's like you can only pass so many bits of information through the old 3G and 4G. The format that comes with 5G crams that. It's like a compression unit that's forever compressing. It's endless, the information that can be passed. Can you tell I'm in the car?
You're liking it?
No. Anytime you get in a vehicle, it gets foggy.
Oh, well, you're a talker.
No, I give off that much heat.
Okay.
All that hot air,
Now, what's that right there, Billy, to the left?
That's a cellular system.
That's just cellular. That's 5G, 4G, or
That's
all?
the lower antennas are the new 5G. It's just the upper ones are the old systems. All the new 5G antennas on the base networks are the smaller antennas. They don't take up as much room. That's another thing is, the higher the frequency you get, the smaller the components. Well, if the components are smaller, that means someone didn't make it. The smaller the components, that means the less power that can be engaged in that unit. So all this worry about power doing harm to people's bodies and stuff, it's false. The higher the frequency, the less power that can be used. But the higher the frequency, the more contamination to the human body that can be made. The body is more resin. Your pores, your hairs, stuff like that, we're gonna make it right here. The hairs on your body, short hairs on your body, act as antennas for the new 5G.
Are you kidding me?
Your beard.
So shave my hair?
Shape, yeah. See, we're giving away the secrets of the new 5G. Hairless bodies.
Get your old TVs too, right? Captain, can you take the gold ball and just put it right here? Please. Thank you. Get out of the way, birds.
Well, I guess we're not.
Oh, bye, bird.
There's one.
Pretty bird, Kern.
Okay, there's the next rad right over there.
Help?
Fog.
Oh, I see that. Okay.
There's two balls over there.
Oh, okay. That's the next rat, huh?
Yeah.
Left or right?
It'll be on your right hand side.
Okay.
And where we gassed up earlier, is up over that bridge, down to the next flight.
Okay.
Okay, you want to get in this lane over here.
Flying J.
Yep. Find what he's at. There's one right there in front of us. See it? See that antenna stuck up right there on that pole?
That's a 5G?
That's a 5G antenna.
You gotta be kidding me.
How close can you get? You're gonna get a shot of something that nobody else has got. Because you can walk up and put your hand on it.
How new is this, Bill? Is it Bill or Billy? Do you mind?
Billy.
Billy.
They just put it up this year.
So what am I looking at?
This is the new 5D 360 antenna and transmitter. Everything is contained in that little box right there. If you look on top of the box there, you can see the coax coming out.
Mm-hmm. Tabs? Out of the cables?
See, I knew I'd get it like that. I think Eric and I had this discussion, compartmentalism. Making you where you don't realize there's another part of the world out there, that you're separate. Next time, rent a vehicle that you can smoke in.
So, compartmentalism, compartmentalized jobs, where people don't know what they're doing within those jobs.
They know what that expertise within that confinement. They know so well that they have no interest in anything outside that parameter. They are the boss, they are the knowledge of expertise within that confinement. They step outside that line, they're lost. I mean, the simplest saying of why is that light blinking over there is not of interest to me, which presents some safety factors, which is how a lot of mistakes are made within the military.
It makes a lot of mistakes across the board. People can get involved in the wrong job and they have no idea that they're committing genocide further on down the line.
Welcome to the real world. Maybe people need to understand that there are these boxes out there of people who exist. They can't exist anywhere else. They step outside that box, they're totally lost.
I have a hard time believing that. I mean, I hear you, but I just have a hard time in this head of just saying, how do you not recognize that, like, you are working on a pipeline that's filtering into
because you don't
bombing other people?
You're brought up where there's no reference to that outside life. Only thing you have seen is within that confinement. When you look outside, you don't want to stick your head back out. You pull your head back in because that's dangerous out there. That's the enemy out there.
So at some point you realized you were boxed in and you were compartmentalized, at least growing up.
I did not realize that until I engaged with my last wife. She was so countrified. She didn't give a crap about all that other crap. She was willing to dive in and take care of me, to pull me away from that situation. She gave her life for that. She actually gave her life for that.
When was this? I mean, but when did you meet your last wife, and when did you break out of it?
Oh.
2000s, huh? Had to have been 2005, after 9/11?
I ran into my wife January 1st, 1990.
Oh, so before HAARP.
And my life was so full of bullshit, excuses of me trying to hide my identity, that it was almost impossible. It was almost impossible to keep it straight. And she kept on breaking down the doorways of truth. And she finally made me see things that I hadn't seen before.
Wow, what a blessing.
I mean, it wasn't a religious thing.
Still, lucky, karma, whatever you want to call it.
It was her giving me a chance. It was her showing me what real love was. It was her showing that man can care for another person other than himself. I mean, she went all out. She did not give up through everything we went together. She was hard into drugs.
Hard into drugs?
Oh yeah, she is very well deep in drugs. A portion of her family was really deep in drugs. Even her own son and daughter and many members of her family had had that problem. And it really was my downfall of not going back into the government that I sacrificed my freedom for them to find out who I was. And I'll explain that tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, I've already explained it to you.
We can spell it. We can do it
But
again.
you can ask me about it tomorrow.
Okay. We're good today?
Yeah, I'm better.
Okay. You got it.
I'm starting to throb.
All right. You're awesome, Billy. You're awesome, my brother.
Okay.
Much love to you, dude.
Real
I mean, really.
Real good job.
Shall we stop and get this? I think Eric and I had this discussion. Compartmentalism. Making you where you don't realize there's another part of the world out there, that you're separate. Next time, rent a vehicle that you can smoke in.
So, compartmentalism, compartmentalized jobs, where people don't know what they're doing within those jobs.
They know what that expertise within that confinement. They know so well that they have no interest in anything outside that parameter. They are the boss, they are the knowledge of expertise within that confinement. They step outside that line, they're lost. I mean, the simplest saying of why is that light blinking over there is not of interest to me, which presents some safety factors, which is how a lot of mistakes are made within the military.
It makes a lot of mistakes across the board. People can get involved in the wrong job and they have no idea that they're committing genocide further on down the line.
Welcome to the real world. Maybe people need to understand that there are these boxes out there of people who exist. They can't exist anywhere else. They step outside that box, they're totally lost.
I have a hard time believing that. I mean, I hear you, but I just have a hard time in this head of just saying, how do you not recognize that, like, you are working on a pipeline that's filtering into
Because you don't
bombing other people?
You're brought up where there's no reference to that outside life. Only thing you have seen is within that confinement. When you look outside, you don't want to stick your head back out. You pull your head back in because that's dangerous out there. That's the enemy out there.
So at some point you realized you were boxed in and you were compartmentalized, at least growing up.
I did not realize that until I engaged with my last wife. She was so countrified. She didn't give a crap about all that other crap. She was willing to dive in and take care of me, to pull me away from that situation. She gave her life for that. She actually gave her life for that.
When was this? I mean, but when did you meet your last wife, and when did you break out of it?
Oh,
2000s, huh? Had to have been 2005, after 9/11.
I ran into my wife January 1st, 1990.
Oh, so before HAARP.
And my life is so full of bullshit, excuses of me trying to hide my identity, that it was almost impossible. It was almost impossible to keep it straight. And she kept on breaking down the doorways of truth. And she finally made me see things that I hadn't seen before.
Wow, what a blessing.
I mean, it wasn't a religious thing.
Still, lucky, karma, whatever you want to call it.
It was her giving me a chance. It was her showing me what real love was. It was her showing that man can care for another person other than himself. I mean, she went all out. She did not give up through everything we went together. She was hard into drugs.
Hard into drugs?
Oh yeah, she is very well deep in drugs. A portion of her family was really deep in drugs. Even her own son and daughter and many members of her family had that problem. And it really was my downfall of not going back into the government that I sacrificed my freedom for them to find out who I was. And I'll explain that tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, I've already explained it to you.
We can spell it, we can do it
But
again.
you can ask me about it tomorrow.
Okay, we're good today?
Yeah, I'm better.
Okay, you got it.
I'm starting to throb.
All right, you're awesome, Billy. You're awesome, my brother.
Okay.
Much love to you, dude. I mean, really.
Real good job.
Shall we stop and get some